checking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic. He's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the game.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Big Dog Sports,
See everybody here on
feel the bark, feel the
Wednesday. Yeah,
in the zone, every day.
hectic day already. Had to download the whole studio all over again. Gotta love that. But everything seems to be functioning properly now. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Good morning to everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay. Morning, Paul. Morning, Bobble. Hit us up on the BDST professional or text line as well, 540-391-0788. Kion Brown joins us. We'll talk some hoops. That got a thrilling road win last night in overtime. Talk about that a little bit. Signing day today. And that'll happen a little later this morning for Tech. So we're scheduled to have Damien Sordelett. And we'll see if we're able to have Damien Sordelett. I know he's pretty busy, so we'll see. Bobble, you're from Australia, huh? Okay. Now we're Southwest Virginia, USA. It is 6:07 here. You're at 10:07 at night in Australia. Well, I'm not going to do a horrible Australian accent attempt for you, but welcome. Hey, Stephen. Good morning. What are you going to New York for? Hey, Paul. See you, man. You going to New York? What are you doing in New York? Be safe. Everybody be safe, wherever you might be. But yeah, it's one of those mornings you come in and you see that StreamYard is offline and you have to. No, I'm not. I don't really have a good Australian accent. Good morning, Prometheus. How are you? You could do the exaggerated one. Like now they do them. I think Americans do Australian accents so badly that they make fun of themselves doing Australian accents. Hey, Morris, good morning. From the tree stand in Hiwassee Woods to the mountaintop cabin in Montana, overlooking Cody, Wyoming. Oh, yeah. I think we'll hear from Wyoming guy anymore. You think we scared him? And now the grouper fishing rod in Palm Coast. BDST is live. Good morning, Opal. How are you? You're a Lakers fan. Okay, Bob. Good, man. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, welcome. Subscribe. Please like, share the channel. Remind people it's free to subscribe. We stream every weekday morning from 6 to 8:30 Eastern Time USA. So 10 o'clock your time. Oh, okay, Stephen. Pretty cool, man. Visit your parents. Very cool. I want to thank Family Fencing for sponsoring our studios, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com. Give Jason Green a call. They're going to work throughout the winter time. So that way you don't have to worry about your yard come spring when you're ready to rock and roll. Give them a call. Mark Hundley never has any time off. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. It doesn't really matter at all. Go see him, McClellan Chiropractic, right off Peppers Ferry Road. Got the latest technology, and he will get your body right, man. And I'm going to have to visit Mark much more frequently than I do. Thanks to Pulaski County Sports Entertainment being the presenting sponsor of BDST here on YouTube. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller, and the crew there. We'll start to have those folks on here quite frequently. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Want to subscribe and just have it kind of sit in your YouTube channel? You know, we won't bother you too much. Nick's saying, you can do it, Rick. The song says you're in the zone. Give us the Australian talk. I don't even know I think my Australian accent would sound too English. Good job, mate. See, nobody's got time for that. Do you want to pet the... See, it goes right into an English attempt. Little River Heating and Air is located at 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Go see Charles Lee, 540-553-2971. They will come and assess, and they will check out your units, and they will save you money. They are the best in the business. They took care of my horrible situation last February in about 3 days. And I haven't looked back since, and I've saved a lot of money with what they've put into my home. BDST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. And the question was, who's going to win the ACC title game Saturday night in Charlotte? And most of you are saying it's going to be Duke. Oh, well done, you think? Thank you. Don't quit my day job. Yeah, I'm with you there. Larry Ramsey, thank you so much. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner BDST here on YouTube. You should go see them for all your banking needs. If you're not happy with your current banking partner, I've been with them 35 years, so I've been thrilled. Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated, residential commercial garage doors, family owned, operated 38 years in business. Go see them in Dublin, right across from New River Community College, sponsor of our text line. Enjoy hearing from so many people throughout the day on the text line. Bob Chris has got the Ready Set Fund ready for you, ReadySetFund.com. If you're looking to raise money for any type of charity, your high school team, whatever it might be, ReadySetFund.com. Bob Christ at gmail.com. Bob Christ 11, BOBCRIST, the number 11. He is the brother of Dave Christ, the legendary Blacksburg football coach. And if you want a BDST t-shirt, $20 here in person, $30 if I have to ship them. Unless I'm shipping to Australia, then it has to be a little bit more. Thanks to Harvey's GM in Radford. Appreciate them. Go get your next vehicle from Brad Harvey. They just took care of the service issue with my son's car, gave me the best price, took it to one place, and, man, they tried to jab me. I won't mention it. It's amazing how you can take your car to one, and I don't know how many of you deal with this. You take your car. I didn't take it to this other place. It got taken there because it kind of had an issue when my son wasn't with me. And I call Harvey's and explain what they found when they diagnosed it, and they priced it like $800 to $900 cheaper. I'm like, well, yeah. So I moved it from that place to Harvey's. How can there be a $900 difference, huh? You think those places earn their reputation? The NRV Super Bowl over in Christiansburg, been serving the community for 25 years. Give them a call, 540-382-5525. Lots of great things coming up in the month of December for them. And give James Lawson a call, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, 540-381-8011. Windows, plumbing supplies, plus installation, home doors. 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. And thanks to all the folks at the Montgomery County Chamber, and thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. People have been asking about the 3XL tall shirts, and I've checked on them. So hopefully we'll find out something soon. Good day, mate. Good on you. When I was an NBA fan, I was a Houston Rockets fan, Bobble, because of, you may not even know who he is, Moses Malone, who was actually from the state of Virginia. And then Hakeem Olajuwon became my favorite player. I don't really follow that league much anymore. Yeah. No. So Kion Brown will join us, and we'll talk about Tech. You know, playing without Toby Lawal again. South Carolina's not very good. I saw them up close and personal. Radford hung with them for quite a while. But still, you're without one of your starters, and, you know, you go on the road, and you're getting back from the Bahamas. You hit the road again, and they got the dub. That's their second overtime road win, if you will. Well, I think Providence was technically played in a neutral site, but I don't think that's a win that you take lightly last night, you know? I mean, if you'd lost that game, you'd be feeling just horrible. You would have felt like two losses. But if you won it, and especially the way that you won it, I think you should feel okay about it if you're a Tech fan. I really do. Morris says his favorite NBA player was Dwayne Wade and that Shaq team for the Heat. Oh, really? You had season tickets. Well, that makes sense. You're down there in the Palm Coast. I get it. I think I chased off Bobble with the Australian accent. My apologies. I tried to warn you, Bobble. I mean, I literally tried to warn you. But you didn't want it. You didn't listen. Many questions about the Tech class. We'll see. We'll see what it ends up looking like. I'm sure there's been some announcements that haven't been made yet, but it's going to look good. I mean, they're going to rise through the standings, and everybody's going to get all excited about whatever number gets beside their rankings and so forth. And I get it. So however you want to look at it, enjoy it, Tech fan. You deserve your good vibes with everything you've gone through. Of course, the bulk of the class are guys that he had ready to commit at Penn State that's flipping and going to Tech. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I think you'll have some surprises. I think you'll have some guys that you haven't heard about yet. And like I said, I know that Damien is doing all that today, so hopefully he'll have time to jump on. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We're going to try to get Andy Bitter on. David Teal's going to be there tomorrow. He's coming on tomorrow. Teal will be on tomorrow, not today, because he's driving from his home to Blacksburg for the signing day today. And then you have, the portal open on January 2nd, I think. Sometimes I'll watch the NBA playoffs. I've soured so much on that league. I don't think I did much at all last year. My son likes the NBA, so he was still living here before he went to school. And I'd watch some games with him, but not as much, man. Not as much. Not as much. Hey, Prometheus, good morning, man. Good to see you burning the fire. He said, I thought they were better than people say. You said after the Radford game, South Carolina was better. Yeah, they're better. They're still not good. I tell you what, South Carolina might be looking to replace a basketball coach and a football coach in 2026 after next football season. Yeah, they got Michi back. Michi came back. Michi went to Ohio State for a year. Didn't like it there. Played 10 games and then came back for his final season. They're picked dead last in the SEC. They're going to have a hard time hanging in the SEC. And I think Coach Paris is in some trouble. From what we got when we were down there, this is his year. He better turn the thing around. Robert, hey, what's going on, man? Now, there's the one negative about, for me anyway, the whole Montana thing. He woke up with 3 inches of snow. Good to have you back, Robert. I thought we scared you off when we said we were going to just all pile into a chartered airplane that Morris, by the way, in the Palm Coast is going to pay for. And we were going to come see you, do our BDST bash from Montana. Yeah, that's a huge story right there now. So, who did I share that with? I shared that with somebody. Vanderbilt. This is where we are with following the money and running. Jared Curtis, the number one, I think he's and again, these rankings, who knows? Number one quarterback, the number one player in Tennessee, and the number one overall recruit in 2026, left Georgia, his commitment to Georgia, to go to Vanderbilt to play for Clark Lee. They're losing Pavia, so he needed his next guy. Boy, we've seen everything. If you ever want to just wonder what recruiting's all about and how much the NIL matters, in no sane world that we've grown up with would any recruit who's the number one player in the country, allegedly, would they leave Georgia to go to Vanderbilt? But that happened yesterday. Huge, just a huge development. Well, we'll see if he develops and whatever might happen. It's interesting, too. You know, Pavia wears number 2 in the picture they show of him. He had number 2 on his shoulder. Knicks fan, our Australian friend is a Lakers fan, by the way. But anyway, yeah, he switched. Craziness. And we're going to see a lot of that. So many guys are in the portal. It's going to be a mad dash. And then you're going to have the portal right after the first of the year. The college football calendar is just so utterly and completely screwed up. And they came out with the playoff rankings last night. Everybody feel about that? If people don't understand that the whole relationship with ESPN and the SEC is not just ruin college football, then you're just not paying attention. You know? The conflict of interest that they consistently have is nuts. But you have Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, your top 5, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami is number 12. Virginia is 17. James Madison shows up number 25. And that's exciting. I like that. Hang on just a second. All right, we're back. All right. All right. So, yeah. Where was I? So, anyway, the playoff is out, and JMU shows up number 25. So, that's really good news. Tulane, those ahead of them, number 20. So, if the playoffs started today, this is what it would mean. You'd have Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, and Texas Tech all getting a bye. Let's see. The 5-12 game would be Oregon with a question mark. Ole Miss would play the 11 team with a question mark at number 6. Texas A&M would be 7. Notre Dame would be 10. And Oklahoma would play Alabama in the 8-9 game. So that's where we are. Very good point. That's a very good point. Coach O'Mation brings up a great point. I don't think it was the case with the Georgia kid, but he wasn't really in the portal. He just flipped his commitment. Guys who are going to be in the portal half of them are being told to leave by their respective programs, that you're not going to play here. Now, I don't think that's the case at Penn State, but nonetheless, it's just going to be a wild, wild free-for-all. Sorry, we're switching out beverages here. What's up, Y? What's up? Tennessee coach posted on Twitter that he wasn't interested because the expectations are too low. Too low where? Not interested where? Penn State? I don't think we're going to worry about what Josh Heupel has to say about much of anything. It's not like he's on a successful bender down at Tennessee. The whole Heupel thing, I don't think that was ever real to begin with, to be honest with you. Everything eerily quiet from all channels around Happy Valley. Everything eerily quiet in Tuscaloosa. Did I lose my camera? I think I did. Let's see here. Hang on, gang. There we go. Told you the studio's been weird this morning. My apologies. Had to reboot it when I got in here. It was completely shut down. And we might have some kinks there we're working out. So we're good now, I think. Yeah, I think we're good now. So my apologies. But we'll see what happens in all of this. Yeah, ODU quarterback is now in the portal, which isn't a surprise. We kind of knew that. I mean, he's good. All those guys like that are going to be leaving. We'll see what it looks like. I think, and I always try to just remind people to be cautiously optimistic in today's landscape. You have to understand there's zero loyalty. And I'm not criticizing the young people at all. We'll talk about this with Kion. You know, everybody, and I get it, everybody's gushing about all these guys that are flipping to Tech. From Penn State. It's all about the money. If Tech didn't have the new commitment with the money that they announced with the hiring of James, well, first of all, they wouldn't have been able to hire, frankly, but none of this would be happening. The loyalty has finally, it's almost like a ray of light has shined on all these young people and their handlers that there's no loyalty in collegiate athletics at any level, from the top all the way down to the coaching staff. We're seeing that with coaches who have conversations and make deals and talk about their staff and this whole Lane Kiffin mess. There's no loyalty anywhere. So these players are now out, as really, to be honest, with the way it's evolved, doing what they're supposed to do. We're going to pile on the young people, but it's not the young people who have made the decisions that's led us to criticize some of the decisions they make when they hop from one place to the other. There's a huge assumption that all these high school guys that Tech's going to sign today are going to commit for 3 years, 4 years to James Franklin. How can you assume that? If they don't play, they're going to get frustrated and they're going to go somewhere else. If they do play and they're really good, they're going to enter the portal in all likelihood to see if maybe an SEC or a Big Ten school wants to pay them more until they change the rules, until they make your commitment more of a commitment. But there's no rules to do that. Chandler Morris, who has led UVA to the ACC title games on his fourth school. Fourth school. But right now, nobody's thinking about that, right? When he started out at Oklahoma, TCU, North Texas, now he's at Virginia, and they're playing for all the marbles on Saturday. The fact is, he's their starting quarterback on Saturday, on Saturday night. It's all the people who were supposed to be policing this is who's caused all this. But everybody gets all excited about everybody's going to be going nuts today, boy on X. This school is back. That school is back. Watch out. Look at all these recruits. You don't know how many you're going to keep. It's no different in a lot of ways than what you're going to sign on January 2nd when the portal opens up. You don't know how kids are going to develop. You don't know what their relationships are going to be when they get here. And I know that's always been the case because high school recruiting has always kind of been a crapshoot. And I know what Franklin said he wanted to do, but is that reality in college football? If you have enough money to supplement it, yeah. But that money that's available all over the country may also expedite you deciding to put a kid out there when he's not ready because he hasn't developed yet, because you want to try to keep him happy. There's a lot of stuff like that that's bouncing around the ether nowadays. Joining us now to talk about some of this is that guy. Talking about bouncing around the ether, it's Kion Brown. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Rick, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm good. Okay, so we're talking about today's signing day.
Yeah.
College football, and everybody is so excited about what James Franklin's done.
Yeah.
But I'm trying
they should be.
They should be, but
right.
I'm trying to explain to them that loyalty is not what it may used to look like when you have these final class rankings, even from high school kids. There's no guarantee now, right? If you go to a school, if they're following James Franklin and they don't play,
yeah,
they're going to leave. And if they do play and they think, you know what, I can get more money, they're jumping in the portal.
Yeah, it's not the same anymore. You just can't trust it. You can't. But at the same time, for the players that do decide to enter the transfer portal, for the most part, can you blame them? If it's all about money, you're going to take the money. So
Correct.
You really can't blame them, right? Unless the NCAA does something where they say all scholarships are 2 or 3 years. They're not 1 year renewable. They're 4 years like they were 20 years ago. Nothing's going to change. The transfer portal is going to be what it's going to be.
Yep.
Until they come out and make a rule change, which they have not done yet. They've shortened the transfer portal window, but not much else has changed. We'll see guys continuing to enter. It looks great. Sounds great what James Franklin is doing. Like I said, Tech fans should be excited. But at the same time, you should expect guys, the inevitable, guys leaving. It is what it is.
And I think the NCAA is afraid, right? They know they're going to be sued. If they decide to change it, they know they're going to lose. They lose every lawsuit they're involved in. So they don't want to mess with it. They know they can't. I don't think they have a leg to stand on. They've allowed all this to happen. They've unopened Pandora's box, and they can't close it, probably again for quite some time.
Yeah. Hey, You make this box, you got to play in it. It is what it is. NCAA, all these stupid rules you come up with. When I was playing, the dumbest rule, I think I said it last year on BDST, the coaches could give you a peanut butter sandwich, but if they added jelly to it, it was considered a meal, and that was an NCAA violation. That is a real thing.
I know. No, you're right. I remember that.
Like, that is insane to me.
Feeding player, right? Wasn't there a lot of cases where you just like bought a kid lunch and then all of a sudden it came up and you may have committed some kind of minor violation?
Yeah. Like, what? What are we doing?
You didn't have money or something? Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Come on now. Oh, my God.
Now, see, then Tebow goes to the other extreme. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy it. It's a waste of time. Nobody's saying that. But we're saying you got to look at it realistically, right? We'll see. Hopefully the kids stay and develop and they want to be in Blacksburg when they get here. There's always going to be isolated cases. But look at the kid from Georgia. They thought this kid was going to come in and be their superstar next quarterback. And what happened yesterday?
Vandy,
goes to Vanderbilt. The number one recruit in the country leaves Georgia and goes to Vanderbilt because he's going to make $3.5 million.
There we go. It's all about the money. And as a 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27-year-old, we see 27-year-olds in college.
That's
guys are going to offer you that much money. Why not take it? You can set yourself up for a nice life with that chunk of change what some of these guys are making. I know if I was making that type of money that some of these guys are making, even if you give me $300,000, I'm paying off my mom's house. We're doing a lot of stuff that's going to set us up for the future. Hopefully these guys are doing that as well.
You think it's going to get ever at any point they're going to be able to lasso this in any way, shape, or form in football and college basketball?
I think they will, but I don't know what they're going to do. You have to, right? I don't know if you bring in some type of committee, some type of advisors and say do X, Y, and Z, but something has to change. You can't continue to keep closing the window or making the window shorter on the transfer portal and think you're doing something. Because at the end of the day, the NIL isn't the problem. The transfer portal is the problem. That's the problem. And that's the problem in basketball. That's the problem in football. And something's going to have to be done. Good luck to the NCAA that has to figure that out. I'm glad I don't have that job.
Maybe you should have had. If you'd have had that job all along, maybe you wouldn't have this mess right now that we see. Yeah. Well, speaking of hoops, good win for Tech last night, I think. You know, they're without Lawal still, and they go on the road and they get a gutsy overtime win. You win overtime games on the road like that in somebody else's gym, I think that says a lot for your team, especially when you're a man down, right? Yeah,
it's a huge win because that avoided 3 losses in a row. Went down to the Bahamas, lost Toby Lawal, and, you know, you lose to Colorado State, and then you lose to a Commonwealth foe in VCU, and you see why no team, the UVAs, the Techs, don't schedule VCU often.
Yeah.
Because that's what could happen. I think that's what happened the last time they played Tech about a decade ago. And VCU just always gets it right. You go from Jeff Capel to Anthony Grant, from Anthony Grant to Shaka Smart, from Shaka Smart to Will Wade, from Will Wade to Mike Rhodes, from Mike Rhodes to now you got Coach Odom, who's now at UVA, and then from Coach Odom to Phil Martelli Jr. I mean, they just get it right all the time. But without Toby Lawal, they're a completely different team. I'm glad they snuck it out yesterday against a South Carolina team they haven't been the best. I think they're picked at the bottom of the SEC.
Did last. Yeah.
Right. Amani Hansberry had a huge game, 22 and 14. Neo Abdallah.
He's good, man.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
Abdallah, everybody knows the hype around him. I think there were 20 plus NBA scouts at that game yesterday to view him. You know, Ben Hammond was good off of the bench. He had 16. You had Jaden Shutt was huge, 2 threes. And, you know, Bedford, the transfer, he didn't have his greatest game yesterday, but those guys picked up where he slacked. So Virginia Tech has a chance to get back on the board, and especially when Toby Lawal comes back, such a huge difference maker as far as rebounding, rim protection, finishing. He's the best athlete in college basketball. So when you get him back, you unlock a whole new element. And I think with him, they probably would have beat Colorado State and they would have beat VCU.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think where do you think that kid's going to go, by the way, in the NBA draft?
Neo Abdallah?
Yeah. Where do you think Abdallah is going to do? You think he's a top 10 guy or top 15? You think he's a lottery guy?
Lottery guy. Yep. I'll say he's closer to 15 than 10. But he's great. He's unbelievable. I think
I
he's
know,
still
man.
going through some growing pains here and there. He just hasn't had a performance like he had against Providence since that Providence game, but everything's there. Yesterday, 12, 8, and 8, controlling the game, controlling the flow, controlling the tempo, rebounding well, picking his spots well. Even though he sometimes doesn't have the field goal percentage that he wants, he always gets the shots that he wants. They're never bad shots. If he can be as consistent as he was versus Providence, Virginia Tech, nobody's going to want to play them. If he can keep that up somehow. But I was listening to Coach Young before the season, and when they were asking him about him, they asked him what was the best part of his game. He said his playmaking, and I can see that. That man gets in the lane when he wants, collapses the defense, forces more than one defender to help, and then he always makes the right decision. That guy's one of those European players who's like, I'll say he's great value, Luka Doncic. He's not Luka, but he's the Walmart brand Luka. And that's good enough when you know how good Luka is.
Still think Tech's a definite top 5 team.
In the ACC?
Yeah.
The ACC is much improved, man.
I think so.
It really is.
I think so.
I think so. Healthy they could be because NC State isn't what I thought they'd be.
Right.
North Carolina looks a bit better.
That was a big win last night now.
Yeah.
That surprised me a little bit last night. It's a big win for them. Yeah.
But Kentucky's just showing you that just because you have money doesn't guarantee success. Kentucky has the highest payroll in college basketball, but they ain't playing like it. No. They're not. It guarantees nothing. These guys will say they're pros, but they're still not, I guess, pros, right? These guys are still young kids coming in. They're making money, obviously, but they still have to mature in a lot of ways. And, Kentucky doesn't have the squad of old. Kobe Bryant is not coming through that door. A guy that shot 50% from 3. You surround Mark Pope say you got a lot of shooters. They can't throw a penny in the ocean right now. They're not a really good team right now. But like I said, that was a good win for North Carolina, but the ACC is much improved. UVA is good. Tech's good, like you said. But the top 3, Louisville, Duke, and North Carolina right now. I have to put that out there for those guys.
Where do you have Virginia Tech? They're kind of there together right now.
They're
Virginia's
right
going to be pretty good too. Yeah.
Syracuse is much improved too.
Syracuse, that was good. That was good. ACC did well last night. They did some good stuff last night. But I really like Tech's makeup. I don't know. I just thought that was, to keep playing without that guy. Yeah. When you think about it, the 2 games they lost out there. Now, St. Mary's is really, really good. I mean, that St. Mary's could be a Sweet 16 team, right? They're good.
Yeah. That program's always good.
And, then they had the tough one against VCU. But I thought that was pretty good considering they've been on the road. And, I've traveled with basketball teams a lot. I know how it is, man. You come from another country. You come from the Bahamas. And here you are having to play another road game, right? You want a home game. You have to go right back on the road, get down to Columbia and deal with that. I think that was a pretty good rally win for them last night. I really did.
Yeah, it was a good one. They needed that win.
Yeah.
Right. Stop the bleeding a little bit.
That was impressive.
Bad time for Toby Lawal to get back.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah.
That team's showing a lot of character because that's two overtime road wins, if you will. I mean, Uncasville was supposed to be neutral, but it was still away from Tech, away from Blacksburg. Yeah. That's 2 good road wins that'll show up pretty well at the end of the year. That's what Mike Young, when he came on the show, was talking about, getting wins like that. So
and it was good because the ACC is so much improved. Last year, those bottom feeders were bringing some of those top teams down when you look at the committee
that's right.
and how they pick some of those teams. So now every game in the ACC is pretty much all conference games are must win, but they're must wins now because they'll go once the committee and looks at your squad and say they're in a quality league, right? So that's what you'll have to Tech.
And I think Hansberry wears 77, doesn't he?
Yes.
I think that looks really cool. It reminds me of Luka. I like seeing the 77 on his roster.
Yeah, I wish we could have got creative with the numbers when I was playing.
That looks cool.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't like that, right? It had to be
you couldn't have a number over 5.
That's right. 35 was it, right?
Right. So when
55,
50
to 50.
That was it. When I was at Fork Union, Coach Jones and Coach Byers emailed me. They had to email me at Fork Union because we couldn't have cell phones or phones or anything. They were like, "What number do you want?" I was like, "I need a creative number. Give me 00. There's not many people that wear 00. I think in college, my freshman year, I think I might have been one of the only people to wear it. I just remember that number from back in the day. Robert Parrish was
Robert
number
Parrish, that's right, the
0.
Chief
So
for
I,
the Celtics.
I said, give me a
Yes.
number that's unique to me. Not a lot of players wear it. Now everybody's wearing it.
Dorn
But-
is 77. Hookie Rock says it's Dorn
Okay.
77.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, either way, it looks really cool. I like
Yeah.
seeing that 77 out there.
Unique number for sure.
It is. But I love Hansberry. All right, our Highlanders tonight. Tonight's the kind of game that Radford teams of the past have to win. They won, right? When
Yes.
they host a team like Southern Miss. A traditionally strong program. They haven't been good recently, but they're coming in here tonight from the Sun Belt. Brand new team. Everybody's new. New. But what do you think tonight for Radford? Tonight's the kind of game you can't give up on your home floor. They already lost one of these to UNC Wilmington, so you can't make it two against Southern Miss.
Respect to, their previous opponent, but Radford, in my mind, is still on a losing streak. And
Yeah,
they need this win. They need it because the offense hasn't been there. They can't shoot. I was expecting this team to be at least a 35% three-point shooting team consistently. Guys, man. It's like, gosh, I'm going to be nice today. Radford has to.
Though, against the Division III team. 50.
Yeah, I'm not. Come on. Yeah. What are we doing?
I know.
Do it tonight against Southern Miss and make them. How about that?
Yeah, you got to make them. If they make the shots from there, they're going to be tough. But that's the way they play. It's a complete NBA mindset, and that's what Coach Tree will tell you. That's the way they play. It's completely. That's all it is.
Yeah, they really don't run any sets.
No, he says that. He says we don't have any sets. He told me that in one of the interviews, which I don't.
I see it.
But to his point, he says it's tougher than you think for guys to play this kind of style because they're used to having more of a, substantive half-court set.
Yeah.
And even though it's free flow and you can do what you want, sometimes guys have tough adapting to that. And I guess that's what they're having a tough time dealing with. It's crazy.
Well, we're in December now. That means the Big South starts in just over 3 weeks. We're right there.
Yeah,
Winthrop is playing excellent basketball.
That was a big win for them last night.
Yes.
Wow.
High Point. Those two are the best. They are the best two teams in the league right now. UNC Asheville seems like they're on the up and up, beating UNCG yesterday. Longwood is inconsistent, but when they're on, they're on. Probably the most physical team in the Big South that I've seen so far on the inside. Radford has to turn it around, man. Come on, Coach Chu. Come on, staff. Get those guys going. You got the squad. You got the talent. Try to turn it around. No more excuses anymore because everybody has a new roster. So you got to get it done now, man.
Well, and for this month, that's why they scheduled the way they did. There's only one road game all month. I can never remember that. 26 years of doing games at Radford where we've had one road game, and that's the trip to William and Mary. Everything else is home. And you're going against clubs. Other than tonight, after this, you're going against teams that you should, on paper, handle. That's why they're on your schedule. Coppin State and St. Francis, which is dropping down to D3.
Yep.
So we'll see.
And William and Mary's much improved. So
William and Mary's better. Yeah, they are. In-state basketball is pretty good. Tech.
Yeah, this is a good year for basketball.
Isn't it? For the Commonwealth, it seems like it's pretty good. JMU's picked to win their league. George Mason's good. I mean, this is a good
Liberty's
league.
Good. Yeah, George Mason's undefeated.
Liberty's good. Yeah.
VCU's expected to win the A-10. Richmond is much better, but when you were as bad as Richmond was a year ago, you can't expect to go anywhere but up. They just had a down year last year. Talk about what we said, McKay and Liberty. Norfolk State, Robert Jones is always at the top of the MEAC. This is a good year for Commonwealth basketball. It really is. A lot of teams can represent the state in the NCAA tournament. It could be one of those years.
I love it, man. I wish we could do a state tournament.
Yeah. And then VMI. I know they're hurt right now. It's the injuries that are getting those guys, but
they are.
Come on, that's probably the hardest job in Division I basketball. And you pick to finish 5th in the SoCon preseason player of the year. Yeah.
That's one of our Sunday games coming up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, George Mason coming to Blacksburg. I wish we could get together. Don't you think that a Commonwealth tournament?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be so much fun? You could pair up the bigger, whatever you want to do for Tech and UVA to get something out of it, and then have all the mid majors kind of figure out how they're going to. I think that would be so much.
It would be huge, and since they're in conference rivals in the ACC, you use that as a conference game. You can figure something out. It's something you can figure out. There's too much talent in this state, too many quality teams, excellent coaching, where you're just leaving an event that will be as big and as good and as competitive as that on the table. But we talked about it, kind of hinted a bit earlier. A lot of teams don't want to play VCU.
I know.
A lot of teams don't.
I know.
It's hard to schedule a Norfolk State, especially on a neutral site, which most likely it will be.
Right.
Put it somewhere like in the state capital in Richmond, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere that's easy for everyone
perfect.
to travel to.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, man.
I think it'd be great. Or just even if Tech and UVA don't want to do it, which, I understand they're in the ACC. They may have other games, different aspirations. Take out the 2 power schools and just put all the mid-majors in Richmond.
And there you go, Yep. That would be great. Like, it would be phenomenal. And if
the crowds would be big, I think people would go. You'd have different types of crowds for every game. People would travel. You could market it. You can make a lot of money. I think people, sponsors, you can make a lot of money with that.
You can. And if anybody's watching right now, you want to set that up,
come on.
Put Rick and I on the call. We're on there. That would be amazing.
We'll broadcast the whole damn thing.
My goodness, that would be a dream come true. My God.
That'd be fun. I think it would help with recruiting.
It would.
It would do a lot of good things, but
Yeah, you set that up the right way, it would be great, man.
Because all you hear about coaches, they say how hard it is to get early games scheduled, right?
Yes.
They're looking at the calendar in November and December and all that. So this way you're taking care. Maybe you could play 2, you could play 3, just round robin. Like I said, Tech UVA may not want to be involved because I think Prometheus is right. They probably have more to lose than gain.
Right.
They could schedule one of these teams and lose. But I don't know. I like it. So.
Yeah, but then you have the guys like Tom Izzo who isn't afraid to play anybody.
Yeah,
right? But he's cut from a different cloth, though. Even Martelli Jr. said it last week. He's like, we want to dance with these bigger schools, the UVAs, the Techs, but it takes 2 to dance. The other squad and other program has to want to dance with us. We'll play you wherever, whenever. I wish every program had that mindset.
Sponsored by Smith Build Bacon.
There we go.
Yeah. Hey, Christopher Lester. Hey, Butts, what's up, Chris? Asking us about, Wingate men's basketball. That's where I think that's where Dwight Vick's son's playing. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I believe. I don't know much about Wingate, but we'll check them out.
Yeah.
I have to look them up. I think that's where DV's kid is, right?
I think so, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. It would be, Prometheus. It'd be great for recruiting. It would be. So let's just leave it at mid-major. We'll leave Tech and UVA out.
Yeah, still got quality schools.
Yeah.
Longwood, Radford, VMI. I think VCU and Richmond should be in it. I guess VCU's a national brand, but they're still, I guess, A-10s. So they'll be like the flagship squad.
They could play Mason. They could play JMU. Old Dominion. I mean, there's just so much.
ODU,
so much you could do. We're solving the world's problems right here, KB.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
Yeah, it's just too many programs here. It's just too many, dude.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. I think is it crazy to say that it's a must-win for Radford? I know it's non-conference.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't think so.
It feels like it to me a little bit.
Yeah, you have to, man. I mean, God, the more you lose, the more your morale goes down, the more players, I hate to say it, give up. It's just, man, I just expected so much at this point of the season. I was the guy going around everywhere on every radio station, on every broadcast I was talking about Radford basketball. I'm saying that those guys will be a team representing Virginia in the NCAA tournament. I thought that they had a better chance than High Point on paper. I thought that they will be the team to beat in the league, but right now they just haven't gotten it. It hasn't clicked for them yet. And with the talent they have and the experience of the level of the coaches they have, I just thought it'd be much better. I thought that NBA offense would be better. It's not, but maybe it's just some growing pains they're having right now. I'm gonna try to look at the cup as half full and not half empty.
Because it is a marathon, not a sprint in college basketball.
Still a one-bid league. So
still a one-bid league. That's right. You got it. That's right. You get all this solved in conference play. Nobody's going to remember it.
Yep.
Nobody's going to remember it.
Exactly.
Okay. Knicks fan says he's a Broncos fan like me. He got to talk about our two teams playing.
Yeah.
It was a good game. You know what? That was one of the better games I've watched all year.
It was. And I was like, why couldn't that be the game I went to for Sunday Night Football a few weeks ago when the score was 28-0 in the second quarter? Against Seattle.
Right.
That's crazy.
Wayne's saying if I called the games better, it's all on me. That's my fault. You're right, Wayne. It is. It's my fault. But that was a good game. That was a good
Yeah,
game. You
it
know
was
what?
great.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was impressed, man. I know Daniels is the franchise, but
Right.
I didn't see a lot of difference out there. That guy.
Well, that's
I
what he
didn't
did
realize
last
he was that
season.
fast. He can
Yeah,
fly.
that's what he did last year. We had a game, I can't remember who it was against. It might have been Cleveland when JD was hurt. He came in, picked up right where JD left off. Then the last game of the season versus Dallas, they benched. They put JD because we were in the playoffs. And we beat Dallas, and now he's probably one of the better backups, if not the best backup in the NFL. He probably is.
I know.
And a guy that's a leader, a guy that's a professional. He's taught a lot to JD, giving him a lot of pointers, a lot of tips, been his shoulder to lean on, and he's been huge for the development of Jaden Daniels. We talk about what some of these veteran coaches are doing for JD, but Mariota's been huge for JD5.
But I will say this, they must be basketball fans up there, Dan Quinn. Y'all run more illegal picks on your pass patterns than anybody in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what happened on that Terry touchdown at the end of the game.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Like the official standing right there like, hey, what a great pick. I'm not
I think it was a lot of bad calls that they probably just we'll let them have that one. There was some bad ones on Sunday, though. Like the intentional grounding one, that one was huge.
If Mariota he'd have had time and thought about it.
Yeah.
With Benito coming at him with the way because they set another pick when the back was coming across. That 2-point conversion was wide open. Like he was standing at the one waiting for the ball. There's nobody within 5 yards of him. If he'd have just did the little alley-oop.
Yeah.
Boop.
I'm the guy that says just give us the best draft pick possible now. I mean, what else is there?
Yeah.
If you have a franchise quarterback in JD5, why not? Give him the most talent possible. The defense is awful. Last year, the defense was 13th in yards per game, but 23rd in points. Now, what are we doing? The oldest defense in the NFL, Bobby Wagner, is going to retire at the end of the year. Luvu's taking a step back. Secondary stinks, but the team does look better on defense since Dan Quinn has taken over. They call him over Joe Witt. I'll say that.
Since Quinn took over, they look a lot better on that side. Absolutely. I always like to ask you, hey, by the way, how was Thanksgiving, man? I know you were traveling, couldn't be with us last week.
Yeah, it was. So my daughter had the flu. So we were.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that was the worst part. So it kind of hindered the traveling a bit. So we did get up that morning and travel down and saw both sides of the family. But everything was about to change until it was bad. But she's back now. But we did end up traveling. But it just the schedule changed how we travel.
I get it, man. I get it. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Well, brother, great stuff, man. You'll be watching tonight. I know. Check us out. We'll see how.
I got a game tonight. I'm at Longwood.
Oh, that's right. Who you guys got tonight? You're right.
Yeah, Pfeiffer tonight. That's who I got. Pfeiffer. Yeah. The Pfeiffer Falcons.
Well, I mean, they're no Mary Baldwin flying squirrels, but so watch out.
Yeah.
Pfeiffer
Falcons, dude.
The Pfeiffer Falcons. You better be careful when you say that really fast.
Yeah. I ain't messing with that one.
You better watch out. And see you on broadcast. You'll be in the broadcast jail. Did you hear what Kion Brown said during the
I'm not messing with that one. I'm not touching that one. Yeah.
Well, have a great call. I'll shoot you a text, let you know how they look. But
let me know, dude.
All right.
Let me know. All right. Brother. Stick by your phone, too. I got something for you, buddy.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
All right, dude.
All right, brother. Take care. Kion Brown. Great stuff. Yeah, you got to watch how you say Pfeiffer Falcons. I'm just saying, things could get messy there. Pfeiffer. Well, I can't say much. We played Notre Dame, Maryland. All right, hang on. We got 20 degrees and the Creed is out. Hang on. I'll be back. No. There you go. Pfeiffer, the Pfeiffer Falcons. Thanks to Kion. Great stuff for him, as always. We love Kion. Kion's great. He's great on the air, too. Very good on the air. Check him out. I wish we got to do more games together. I wish it worked out to where we could do more games together. And I'm so glad he's back. on the air. The king is back, Creed. He's a special little dude. Everybody knows the story, right? He was tossed aside with his brothers and sisters. They were all dead when I walked up upon him. He comes crawling out of the same bag. Just how people can be that cruel, I don't get it. But that's just me. No, it's not. You understand. You understand. So he had to be brought home. And now he's turned out to be, well, he's the world heavyweight champion. All right. This next gentleman is going to be very busy. He's always busy, but I know he's going to be busy today. He's Damien Sordelett, the Virginia Tech football beat writer for the Roanoke Times. What's up, DS? Good morning, brother.
Morning. It's going to be a busy day, that's for sure.
You're in Blacksburg right now, aren't you? You're in the room right now.
I certainly am. Yeah, I made sure to get here early just because it's going to be a busy one, that's for sure.
Well, it's going to be, a lot of smiles in that room and Tech fan with all the flips so far. And I think we're going to have some surprises. I guess my question to you is, so far, how impressed have you been with, well, we kind of knew some of those guys were going to come, but how impressed have you been with the consistency that we've seen, the commitments, come through for James Franklin since he got announced as the head coach?
It also helps Penn State doesn't have a head coach.
It does. It does.
So when you're able to rely on your relationships from recruiting those players to Penn State, that helps the selling point, and especially since it's the same region. You can say, hey, I know most of these guys are from Pennsylvania. You can say you're not as close to home, but I'm not telling you to go across country to, say, UCLA, having you come 6 hours south to Blacksburg, Virginia. That's a good selling point. And you look at the two SEC flips on the defensive line in Witherington and Richardson, both had visited Penn State over the summer and made official visits. So Franklin already had a relationship there with them. So he just relied on his relationships.
And the money.
That helps too, but you need relationships. And he probably got a chance to look at the roster and probably was able to tell those guys, especially on the interior of the defensive line, because you're losing so many key pieces from the team that you need to replenish that group. And you can say, hey, you can come in and contend for playing time immediately. And I think that was a big selling point for a lot of these guys. And Franklin said he's going to build in the trenches, and he has gotten some beef when it comes to offensive and defensive line. And I think that's going to be something that will be highlighted today in signing day.
All right, some unfair questions, but I guess it's just your opinion. How many new guys do you think eventually, after we're done with the today and then whoever else commits and then the portal at the first of the year, how many guys do you think are going to be new to this roster? What would be your best guess? I know it's impossible to know, but what kind of overturn of the roster you think we're looking at?
I guess it depends on how many stay.
I know he's got to evaluate all those guys, right? So
what was it last year? I think it was 50. Last year with Pry was the number.
It was, it was about half. Yeah.
We could be venturing toward that. So right now there's 19 commits. Isaiah Pena, tight end, I believe, has announced he's going to wait till February. So right now you have 18 solid who will sign today. There might be, I think, 3 or 4 guys who flip today to Virginia Tech.
I would expect you'll see some more flips today. Yeah,
we're looking at low 20s just from high schools, and then depending on how many you need from the transfer portal. And I don't think any Virginia Tech players on the current roster have announced that they're entering the portal, and most of the social media posts have been talking about how they grew from this season of adversity and that they wouldn't trade it for anything else. So I would say probably in the 40s would be my guess. So low 20s, and then he doesn't want to rely too much on the portal, so maybe teens to 15 or so that you get in. So I would say that would probably be a general guess, but again, we need to see what the roster looks like when when we get to beginning of January.
Well, and as Coach Elmasian and Coach Grantham said on this show, now after today, with the window for the portal, the guys who enter the portal going forward from all over the country are basically going to be told by their coaches they need to enter the portal, right? This is where it becomes the tough conversations that Brent Pry used to always talk about. You should go ahead and get in the portal because we're going to do something else. And that's what that's why you're going to see so many. I think you're going to see a record number of kids across the country that are going to, in the next, 2 or 3 weeks, that are going to say, okay, I'm going to the portal now. So,
yeah. And there's also a lot of players that don't want to fight for playing time.
Correct.
They feel like they've earned it, and a coach is going to say, "No, you gotta fight, keep fighting for your spot. You're not given this. This is you need to earn it."
That's right.
And some players are like, "Well, grass is greener on the other side. Let me go get it." I think we've seen that from some players over the years, and I think if you feel like you need to go somewhere, test the portal. But I don't know how many doors are open to come back.
I know. I think you're right.
I'm wondering if Tucker Holloway might be one of those that would be welcome back to Virginia Tech, because the circumstances of him entering the portal were unique, from what I've heard. But he's still on good terms. He's been on social media. He was rooting for Virginia Tech in the battle for the Commonwealth Cup over the past weekend, and so yeah, I would say that's the case. And but yeah, we'll see how Franklin views the roster, and which positions he needs to fill.
Well, and we knew this was going to be his strength, right? This is what he does. He's able to go out and he's able to sell, himself. He's able to sell his vision, and now with the financial increase, it all is coming to the perfect head, right? In terms of them being able to go out and put together what's going to be, I think, a highly ranked class. I don't know how many people, I guess a lot of people look at those rankings, from these sites. A lot of them don't even know. A lot of them don't see 75% of the players that they rank, but it is what it is. But they're going to have some impressive numbers and some new depth to sort out once we get everything done and settled heading into the spring. And that's an exciting time for everybody to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So when Franklin inherited Virginia Tech, the recruiting class was, I think it was 118th for On3 and Rivals, and it was 124th for 247, and they're both in the top 30 now, or in the 30s. I think On3 was 31st, and 247 was like 35th. And I think that number will jump up here today into the 20s, and if he can get into the top 20, that'll be 11 top 20 recruiting classes in the last 13 years. So that'll be a big thing. I don't know if we want to touch on the coaches.
Yes, that was going to be my next question. I see Paul asked, have you heard any rumors about the coordinators as a staff? Anybody retained? If anything leaked out at all about the coaching staff?
Nothing's leaked out. I did find it interesting that Anthony Poindexter, and I did the eyeball emoji retweet on this. He did a tweet with finishing strong here in Happy Valley, but want to take time to congratulate my guys playing on Sundays. I wonder if that means he knows he's following Franklin to Virginia Tech, or he's going somewhere else. And then again, we don't know what's going on with the Penn State situation. I think Brian Daboll is now might be one of the clubhouse leaders and taking over that job. I don't know. No leaks have come out.
Okay. I wondered if anything had kind of seeped out a little bit. He's kept that very close to the vest, hasn't he?
Yeah. If he brings his offensive line coach from Penn State here, I could see that happening because then Matt Brown's got a landing spot at North Texas, because he'll go reunite with Neil Brown, because Neil Brown's the coach in waiting at North Texas.
That was a good get for him. That's a good recovery for him, North Texas.
Very
good job
recovery for him, and gives Matt Moore a landing spot. And I guess it'll depend on if players who came to Virginia Tech for Matt Moore want to follow him to North Texas, or because they were recruited from this region, want to stay at Virginia Tech. That would be something to monitor, and that's probably why Virginia Tech has gone so heavy recruiting-wise by getting those players, and the fact that they have 7 currently committed who could sign today. That's a sign that he really wanted to overhaul the offensive line room and add some more depth there. And if you could keep Garrett, if there's an offensive line coach change, this will be Johnny Garrett's. Let me see if I can do the math here.
Yeah, how many?
This will be his 5th offensive line coach.
Wow.
Or sorry, 4th. His first year was 2022. So it was Rudolph, Crook, Moore, and then if there's a new offensive line coach, fourth one in 5 years. If you can keep him, Ganem, Altuner, Lynch, and I'd say like Crawford and maybe even Wright, and then you add these signees in, you're looking at a pretty good class or pretty good offensive line, and you probably need to go get a couple more depth pieces with experience to bridge the gap. But I think you're looking considerably better, especially if you're able to bring in a really good offensive line coach who, let's put it this way, Penn State's been putting guys in the league from the offensive line for the last few years. And I know Matt Moore has the same reputation. So I think you can go either way depending on, who you have as offensive line coach. And I don't know, I've heard John David Baker from East Carolina could be the offense coordinator. I think the Ricky Ronnie steam is kind of mellowed out a bit.
Yeah, so, I wasn't buying that one from the get-go. Yeah.
Wayne, I'm not singing Allman Brothers as a hint for defensive coordinator. I think unless we see Brent Pry here today when we go in there in about an hour to see how this production is playing out, if he happens to be in there and he's part of it, then something's up. And I think Andy and I will be pretty on top of that.
Immediately that would come out immediately. Yeah.
Oh, immediately we would summon Brent over to us and be like, all right, what's up? We didn't expect to see you back here.
Well, I know Coach Elmation thinks that it'd be easy. He thinks the easy answer is Poindexter as defensive coordinator. Like that should be the hire. I think that would be a terrific announcement. If they end up announcing that here soon, I think Tech fan could do cartwheels. That'd be a great get, I think. So
the problem and I think Andy brought this up on a podcast about how many chances has Poindexter had to be a defensive coordinator at Penn State, and he was passed over.
I don't understand. Yeah, exactly. Does people know something we don't? Like the whole Franklin firing? I don't know.
Co-DC with Pry. You bring in Manny Diaz instead of elevating Poindexter. You bring in Tom Allen instead of elevating Poindexter. You bring in Jim Knowles instead of elevating Poindexter.
You got passed over every time. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe he told him he wasn't ready. I don't know. But it feels like he should be ready now, right? If he's ever going to get one, this would be it to come to Blacksburg.
Yeah, I would say, you keep Fontel Mines, you keep Elijah Brooks. Brooks is incredibly crucial for recruiting, especially in the DMV and his ties to that area. And his development of running backs is pretty good. I'd say the track record with Bashal Tootin for the last 2 years and what he was able to get out of a Division II guy like Marcellus Hawkins this year, that says he knows what he's doing in terms of developing running backs. And I think that would be a no-brainer to keep him. I don't know who else you look at. J.C. Price wasn't on the field coaching these last 3 games, and he wasn't even down on the field pregame working with the guys leading up to UVA. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
I was told he was in the booth. So, it'll be
different. That's different. Yeah. All right. So I got to ask you, because I got a ton of text messages on our professional door text line. Colton Joseph is now in the portal, the ODU quarterback who looked just good all year, but boy, really shined in Blacksburg. Boy, that feels like a guy that if we get an announcement he's going to transfer to Tech, the Tech fans should be excited about it. That would be quarterback's going to be key, whichever one he gets out of the portal for year number 1 and maybe year number 2, right? He's got to hit that. He had trouble doing that at Penn State consistently. Would that kid be a viable candidate, do you think?
He would if the offense fits him. We've seen, like, with the way Kevin Decker spreads things out and the box isn't stacked, Joseph is able to run over 1 or 2 guys. But if you bring in more of a pro style where you're more compact in terms of your alignments, I think he might have a little bit harder time trying to run through 3 or 4 guys, even though he's a bigger guy. I think it has to fit. That's why I've always said if you could bring Ronnie and Decker as a package deal as OC and quarterbacks coach, you could fit in Colton Joseph very well. And I know everyone's saying, James Franklin didn't just go to Norfolk to watch a random Troy ODU game on a weeknight just for fun and just to have a beer and a hot dog at a tailgate.
Right.
He went to get some evaluation done early. I think
that's
Joseph
what it kind of feels like. He was there for a reason, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Joseph would be a great fit, but you need him in the right system. And I think with the way Decker has developed him, I think that should allow Decker to be an option. That's why I've always said if you were to go get Ricky Ronnie as your OC, bring Decker with him because Decker's done a very good job in developing Colton Joseph this year. And I honestly think Indiana could go after him because Indiana saw him in week 1. And
no, you're right.
ODU played Indiana about as well as anyone outside of Iowa this year. And Mendoza, being a Heisman candidate this year, will probably go pro, and you need a quarterback. And I don't know if you got anyone you're really excited about on the depth chart there. I haven't really kept up with what Indiana's depth at quarterback looks like. So,
do you think coaches will start to come out tomorrow after all this is done today? You think we'll start getting some announcements toward the end of the week?
I hope we get it today.
You think today after everything's done?
Yeah, I hope you can at least say if we see some people in there during the signing period. And it's
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
If we see them in there, then it's like, okay, well, are you here? Are you here? Or are you just here to help because you're part of the recruiting these guys?
Right.
Because right now with this signing class, you're at a point where, 5 or 6 are holdovers from the previous staff, and everyone else is Franklin. Like at that point, it's like, okay, well, you need to have. I would think you'd have your guys here. I don't know how quickly guys were packing up their boxes packing up their offices after.
I know. Well,
after this past weekend, I did notice like Sean Quinn has been retweeting a lot of James Franklin stuff. So there's a possibility of someone who could be staying on staff because Quinn did help recruit a lot of the Northern Virginia guys along with Brooks. So I think it'll be interesting to see.
Do you think about 30 recruits today? 30 some, probably something like that. You think?
I think it's going to be in the low 20s.
Low 20s.
Right now they're at 19. They'll have a few flips, so that puts them into one's not signing today, so 18 signing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little higher than that. Okay.
I think what they're mentioning in the chat would be total new players in. Because I think that's when we were.
That's what, and I am too. I'm making the same. Yeah, I'm making the same. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about too. New players, completely. I'm already thinking beyond today. I guess with who's. Yeah. Well, it's going to be wild, man. It's going to be wild. It's going to be an exciting day. That starts what at when's that start? 8, 9.
The recruits can start coming in now. It started at 7.
Okay.
I'm just going to scroll through X, and I haven't seen anything from Virginia Tech yet. So, do you guys really want Sangapulatele as the quarterback?
Hey, you know what? Why not? For if you have him here, hey, 1 year, let's get the program rolling. Let's show everybody what we can do. I mean, you're going to have a rental there anyway. Why not? I mean, that kid,
he's got 3 years of eligibility left.
I know he could stay for more than 1 year, right? So, if he plays well and he gets paid a lot, does he go from one coach to the other?
Yeah,
he's a talented dude, man. He's a talented dude.
Does Cal have its coach lined up?
They say they do. They say they do. The defensive coordinator at Oregon apparently is going to be that guy, but doesn't feel like that's the kind of hire it's going to want to keep him around. Or that quarterback would go, yeah, I want to play for a defensive guy.
Well, Ron Rivera might have an idea of who is going to be on staff if Ron Rivera is picking the guy.
Yeah, we'll see. So, I was surprised Wilcox got fired, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, you get boat raced by Stanford.
I know. You base it on that's a tough place to win.
So, Wayne, to answer your question about live announcements, Matt Sieg is a safety, high 4-star. He's announcing, I think, around 10-ish. And then Terry Wiggins, a linebacker, is announcing, I believe, around noon. So those would be the guys to keep an eye out on, at least the 2 big names. Those would be Penn State flips. Sieg is down, I believe, to Virginia Tech and Pitt. And Wiggins is debating between Tech, UNC, Colorado. And there is the possibility they could both stay committed to Penn State. Virginia Tech's making a big push for them. And there's a couple others who I think Virginia Tech could be in play for today to get that number up higher. But I think Sieg and Wiggins are both very high 4-star guys, borderline 5-star guys. If you get them, that puts Virginia Tech into the top 20 in terms of recruiting. And that would give them 7 or 8 of the ESPN top 300 for the year, which it's been a while since Virginia Tech has had that many top players. I don't know if Virginia Tech's live streaming this. They did it last year.
Tebow says it's live now. Tebow says it's live right now. So that's good to know. Thanks, Tebow. Yeah, he says it's live right now. So
yeah, recruits can start sending in their signing everything. I don't see Virginia Tech has had anyone come in yet.
No one yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One I hope they get eventually. The Elon quarterback Landon Clark is leaving, which not a surprise. That kid is a dynamic player. He was a great safety too in high school. I mean, he is just a baller, man. That'd be a great addition to the class. I don't know whether he could be a quarterback in Power 4. I don't know how he's being viewed, but he had 29 touchdown passes this past year. No brainer for him to go into the portal. I'd like to see him come back, man. That would be a good get, I think. And a lot of local interest too, man. That'd be cool.
He didn't look bad against Duke in the open.
I know. He's good, man. He can play.
Granted, that Duke defense didn't turn out to be as good as everyone thought it was going to be.
Yeah. True. Very true. Who's going to win the title game? Well, I've asked. That's our question of the week. Our BDST fan question of the week. You got UVA taking care of things and jumping in the playoff, or you got Duke winning and maybe not making the playoff?
Do we want absolute chaos here?
I know.
Let's see. You could have Duke win.
They won't make it.
If Duke wins and Tulane wins the AAC,
yeah,
Tulane has a head-to-head win over Duke this
year. Correct.
Then what if UNLV wins the Mountain West and improves to 11-2 and James Madison loses in the Sun Belt title game? Does the committee say, all right, 11-2 UNLV, you get in over 5-loss Duke?
It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild.
I kind of want that because, one, the committee has sold out to the SEC this year.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. The whole ESPN SEC, that's ruining all of college football, that whole relationship. It's just such a joke.
The committee moved up Alabama to essentially say, all right, if they lose and get boat raced to Georgia in the SEC title game, well, we're not going to penalize them and drop them below Notre Dame. Like, the fact that BYU has to beat Texas Tech to get in and BYU is 11-1 is ridiculous.
No. If they lose that game, they'll be left out.
I know. It's like the selection committee joined the Greg Sankey Kiss My Ass Club. That's all they've done.
Exactly, man. It's just so ridiculous.
It's
8
like
o'clock.
watching.
It's 8 o'clock. Okay.
I know. It's like watching the WWE when the Attitude Era moved to the PG era, and Vince McMahon had that Kiss My Ass Club thing where and it's like that's what
So
I'm watching
tiring.
right now. And the fact that you have the Arkansas AD as the chair of this committee, and he's out there pining for Alabama. I'm like, yeah, of course you're going to pine for Alabama. The more SEC teams that get in, the better the payday is for the league. That's why he's probably like, oh yeah, they're up 17-0, and then had to have a gutsy 4th down call in order to win. You're up 17-0 against a team with 5 wins, and you had to go for it on 4th down to win. Whereas Miami dog walks Pitt on the road, a Pitt team that was ranked,
that was hot, man. That was playing really well, really well. I know. And they rose to a new low over the weekend with the whole Lane Kiffin coverage. That was the most embarrassed. They've done a lot of things to embarrass themselves and kill their brand, but that, to me, their credibility, that was the low point. All those guys on game day who have the same agent pimping for Lane, it's so embarrassing.
And then
they have no self-awareness.
The committee moves Ole Miss up 1 spot in Lane Kiffin's left. And Lane Kiffin had put out a statement saying, I talked to the committee and told them Charlie Weiss is going to be there as the offensive coordinator.
Right.
I'm like,
what
difference does that make?
Correct.
The committee said in its criteria, if a coach leaves or a player's out, like that's going to determine where we rank them. And you say, oh, Ole Miss is going to be better because Lane Kiffin's gone.
And then you go look what they did to Florida State, who didn't lose a game. It's such a joke. It's so tarnished. It really is.
Yeah, I don't get it. And the committee didn't do itself any favors last night, and it hadn't done itself any favors
it's terrible
during these 5 weeks. But last night was just the cherry on top that they need to go back to computers.
Yes, the BCS, as much as it was criticized, was much more accurate than any of this
and
crap.
Guess what? There's more computer data now than there was back in the BCS day.
Right.
So, yes, everyone who's been criticizing the AP poll this year, and I'm a voter, everyone who's criticized us. Well, guess what? You have that. You have the coaches poll. You have Sagarin. You can factor in ESP Plus. You can factor in all these other things.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's nuts. Hey, by the way, we got to talk a little bit about Bob Chesney. I've since found out a lot more. That athletic director comes on this program every month. So it's been UCLA for him all along. They contacted him the weekend after they fired Deshaun Foster. They've been in conversations, get to know. This is our vision. So on the surface, it looks like why in the world would he go to that just nightmarish situation? It seems on the surface, but this has been going on for a while. This is like a 2-month get to know you session. And finally, he popped for UCLA. It's a mega surprise for a lot of people because that's apparently been his only vision. I know people kind of tied him into other places, but apparently that's not true. It's been about whether he was going to leave JMU to go there, and he's decided to. Are we going to see a similar type of thing? I mean, everybody said, Kurt Cignetti, why in the world would you go to Indiana? And then who had, 3 winning seasons in 50 years before he got there, whatever that number is I saw. Can Bob Chesney go out to Westwood and kind of make him care about football? Because on the surface, it seems like a very questionable thing, that relationship. Because I want him to be in a good spot, and I don't think UCLA is a good spot.
You know what? I think it's a good hire. It's
a great hire for UCLA. My God.
He'll be able to bring in some guys. And I think Virginia Tech just had a flip, thanks to James Franklin.
Did they? Who'd they get?
I don't know who yet. Got to see what pops up here soon. But it's a good fit. He's a good coach, and he's going to bring some JMU guys with him, just like Cignetti did a few years ago. And then I think one of the guys that they just got might have been a JMU commit.
Really?
He was a projected tight end there, but I think he's going to be more linebacker here at Virginia Tech. So last name Oates.
Okay. Well, good. There you go. Say it's one of the surprises, right? Like you said, we're going to have some flips today, and there's one already. So
yeah, and that's one where if Chesney's going to UCLA, and this guy wants to stay close to home,
Yeah.
Virginia Tech's a good spot for him. But back to Chesney with UCLA, it's a good hire. He's going to do things the right way and get. It's going to be a lot tougher, especially jetting cross country now. Whereas in each move up, he's been in regional leagues. D3, there's not a lot of travel. Same with D2. And then FCS at Holy Cross, that's a more compact league, and the Sun Belt is a very regional league. It's going to be a little different, especially recruiting wise. Like, he has not recruited out in the West Coast before. That's going to be different. But if he feels like it's a good fit for him and they're willing to invest into football with him, that's a good fit. He's a very good coach. He's proven it at multiple levels. Now he gets to try it out, on the West Coast.
In the Big Ten. In the Big Ten. If they were still in the Pac-12, he would. I don't think that would have ever materialized. But now they're in the Big Ten. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and he gets to, he'll come home every couple of years to play Penn State. I don't know if he sticks to recruiting that area and tells kids, hey, we'll come back here every few years to play in front of family. We just need you to jet across the country and sign with us. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But again, good hire if that's the case. And Pat Kraft is going to be. I saw there's a few Virginia Tech fans that are sending crumble cookies to Pat Kraft this morning as a thank you for James Franklin. And there might be some BYU fans that do the same thing. Since, the CEO of Crumble Cookies is a big BYU booster and actually tweeted it was time for him to get to work when news came out that Sataki was in talks with Penn State. And he probably helped put up a lot of money. So hopefully Penn State people there at the football building like Crumble Cookies.
Yeah, Sataki played that well. And you said it right. He was in talks with, never got it. It was misrepresented that he had an offer. They were in talks with. They don't just offer. And you're right. He parlayed that into a lot bigger contract. He had a rough relationship at the time when all that started, but they realized we can't lose that guy. And he may have come to realization too. It's got to be tough to come from a Mormon culture. All of a sudden you're going into a blue blood where you just fired the coach who had you, play away from the playoff 2 years ago or last year. So
yeah, and then there was someone who was sarcastically saying this on social media that the Church of the Latter-day Saints can now get a presence in that part of Pennsylvania.
That's true.
So that's going to be kind of interesting. That would have been interesting, but there's also, when you think about Sataki, if he's 11-1 at Penn State, he's guaranteed a bid into the college football playoff. They were 10-2 last year at this point. You weren't even in discussions. 11-1, and they're on the outside looking in.
Right. And they're not going to beat Texas Tech, probably. Right? No. They might. They could.
And I'm going to put you this way: Utah is 10-2, and the teams that lost to have a combined record of 22-2, Texas Tech and BYU. Alabama's at number 9 at 10-2, and the combined records of the teams they lost to is 5-7 Florida State, and Oklahoma's 10-2, so 15-9.
There you go. And didn't the ACC have a winning record against the SEC this year? Did I not see that graphic like last week or something? It seems like that popped up on X. Something like that? Is that correct?
No, that was last night in the SEC, ACC.
No, it was something about football season. They went back and they showed. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I saw
all right,
something.
So the ACC went 0-3 against the SEC at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Correct.
So Louisville beat Kentucky.
Right.
Okay, yeah, John Patrick Oates has flipped his commitment to Virginia Tech.
And that's the JMU kid that you mentioned.
That's the JMU kid. They had him projected at tight end. Looks like he's going to be a linebacker here. So that's linebacker number 2 in the class.
And he didn't want to go to Westwood. I don't blame him.
No. And he's from Pennsylvania, so it helps he's going to stay closer to home. And I think most of the intel had said if Virginia Tech offered, he was going to come here. So
yeah.
He's a 3-star kid, 6'3", 223. That's a good size for an inside linebacker. So already off to a good start. Don't know if he is signed yet, but we'll just have to see what Virginia Tech puts out there.
And then they release stuff still that once they're actually signed. So you'll see that come across that ticker.
The first one in is offensive lineman Marlon Bright. He just signed.
He was one of the flips, right?
He was one of the flips from Penn State. He's a kid who is a 4-star, at least by one of them, from Pennsylvania. So good start for the Hokies. I'll probably get that up and running here soon with live updates, and going to be a busy day. Yep.
Yeah, you guys, you just going to be sitting in there with Andy all day, and y'all just going to be looking.
No, they're going to have us in there around 8:20 to go in there and actually watch.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
awesome.
Okay, I can't pick between Fat Rat or Purgatory.
Oh, the good name, Ryan Pryor.
And then you also have Messiah in there.
I like Fat Rat, man. Fat Rat to me is that's my favorite. So
6'1", 200, and the kid can ball.
I love Fat Rat.
What is it, 3,000 receiving yards and like 40-something touchdowns in 4 years?
On the back of his jersey, they should put Fat, F-A-T in quotes, and then Rat. That should be with a little hyphen or something.
Hey, if the XFL can do that, let's put it in college now.
Yeah, why not? Everything else is messed up. There's no more tradition. Just do whatever.
If we're gonna put sponsorships on jerseys, let's just go with nicknames of the nameplates and do it. Like Purgatory. Like if you're a defensive lineman and you're going up against a guy whose nameplate says Purgatory on it, are you going to be like,
right? I have no chance. I'm already mentally defeated, soundly defeated by Purgatory.
Yeah. So, now Tech's up to 20 guys in the class with Oates, and I'm expecting it to be a little bit more. We touched on Dayball earlier. If that's where you're getting to after all this time,
I mean, from NFL, now you got to jump in to try to figure out this new college terrain.
Yeah, and then he's going to have to hope there's some players still available to sign in February because he doesn't want to have to do what Belichick did and bring in 70 transfers.
Yeah, I know. That's it's going to be interesting to see what all happens there at Penn State and who they end up hiring. It's been weird to me how quiet it's been up there. I know fans are raising hell, but I mean, I'm talking about from Penn State. There hasn't been any. It's just kind of all quiet, despite the fact that they don't hire a coach as of yet. Somebody's going to pop up that we haven't thought about. Ryan Price brings up, and he's a Penn State guy, so he kind of has some insider here. Or at least he knows that area. He grew up around it. So Manny Diaz, I've heard that name. Jeff Brom has popped back up, whose team collapsed miserably at the end of the year. And Brian Kelly. Wow. How would that be received in Happy Valley if it's Brian Kelly? Woo.
He would have to change his accent again.
That's true. He'd have to get the he would have to go with what kind of just the northeastern, be more natural for him, I guess.
Yeah, he'd have to go back to how he carried himself and talked when he was at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame. That's awesome. Well, we'll see. Anybody else come across? I like this. We're getting live response here as Damien gets the updates.
Nothing yet. Just got the one. I have a feeling, like with Segan Wiggins, that will be announced live on CBS Sports.
Okay.
Later today. Similar to how Troy Hugh announced. They just had to pop it up on their YouTube page, a quick 10-minute special. So I have a feeling, Virginia Tech might have those streaming in there. Actually, we'll be gone. We'll be back in this room by the time that happens. So,
you think Tech gets them both? You think Tech gets Sieg and Williams?
I don't know. It's between Pitt and Tech for Sieg, and then Wiggins. I don't know if you go to Colorado because of Deion Sanders' health issues. Like, how much longer is he going to coach?
Is that where he's got it down to, Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado, UNC, and Virginia Tech. If you can get him,
it's going to come down to money.
Yeah, if you can get him in the fold, that gives you 3 linebackers, 3 really good linebackers to fill out the class. And linebacker was a position of need because, let's be honest, outside of like Noah Chambers, like the development of some of these guys has not been great.
There's negotiations across the country right now. These guys this is the new reality. They're trying to get as much as they can. Yeah. And that's what's going to tip a lot of these decisions. And I agree with T-Bo. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, Mormon coach going up to PSU never seemed to make – I don't think that was ever a reality. I think Satake was just using that for –
Yeah, But, again, it could have been a position where, again, if he's 11-1 at Penn State, he's in the playoffs without question.
Without question.
And he's 11-1 at BU, and the committee is like, the Big 12, they're not good.
I know.
The Big 12 has 3 of the top teams in the nation this year in Texas,
good league.
BYU, and Utah.
I know. And Miami's not going to get a chance in all likelihood. And I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him against an SEC team. So
the ACC needs to revisit that tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're gonna have Teal on tomorrow. I know he's big on that too. Yeah. Mike Burnett mentioned that yesterday.
TSL just said let David Teal decide the tiebreakers.
Let Teal's got. He's seen it. He's seen everything. Let him decide what it should look like. But they need to. Yeah, they do need to address that. Burnett was all over that yesterday. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Oates hasn't come in yet in terms of signing. He's just committed. I have a feeling that means he's going to sign, but Virginia Tech just hasn't announced him yet.
Yeah. So you expect how many of those type of guys? 4 or 5 more, you think, this morning, potentially?
There's potential. There's a couple who said that they might, like, the signing period lasts through Friday. There's a couple who said they might wait till Thursday or Friday because, like, there's a branch. First name is escaping me right now, but he's like Auburn, Ole Miss, Virginia Tech, are all in. So I want to answer Morris's question. If Virginia wins, Virginia gets the auto bid because it'll be one of the 5 highest ranked champions.
Right.
And so if you watched the broadcast last night, they had placeholders for the number 4 and number 5 champion. So right now, if UVA wins, they would probably slot in at 11, and that's a road game at Ole Miss, which anyone going down there, I had a great time in Ole Miss, but you would probably have to stay in like Olive Branch, Mississippi, or somewhere else because
to get
find any hotels in Oxford.
No.
And I flew into Memphis, so you just fly into Memphis and. It's a quick drive down to Oxford. So, but yeah, right now Miami does not seem like it's going to get in.
Yeah.
The committee has done Miami wrong. It's done BYU wrong. It's Notre Dame might be on the outside looking in when all said and done here as well. So,
you think they'd leave Notre Dame out? Wow, that would be ballsy. As much as I know they're married to the SEC.
Yes, that will happen. BYU would be the auto bid, and they're not going to drop.
If they won, yeah. If BYU won, yeah.
If BYU beats Texas Tech, Notre Dame's not getting in. And then if Alabama gets boat raced by Georgia, they're probably not going to put Alabama in. They'll probably go with 3 SEC teams in Georgia, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. 3 Big Ten teams, and then Vandy's not getting in. Texas is not getting in.
No.
Even though Texas has a head-to-head win over Oklahoma. And I forgot Oklahoma is currently in.
That's right. How about the Vandy flip yesterday, getting the number 1 player in the nation from Georgia? Talk about money. I want to see what that final contract looks like.
Well, Clark Lee needed to make a splash because the only reason he got a pay raise because he's had 2 years of Diego Pavia.
No, I know. He had to find the next Pavia or what he
Before
hopes is going to be the
Pavia
next type of
arrived,
guy.
he was probably considered out the door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pavia saved his job in the whole program the last 2 years. No question.
Oh, yeah.
And Jerry Kill. Keep Jerry Kill. Pay that guy what he needs to stay with you to develop the next quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. UVA is going to be living by the portal. High school wise, they don't have a lot of commits right now. I think they're signing classes right now like 15th or 16th in the ACC.
But you know what? He's proven that he could go. That's what they did this year. And
Yeah.
I play devil's advocate a lot. Because I work with a lot of season ticket holders and fans, and they're all criticizing UVA. I'm like, all right, which season would you have rather had? 3-9, fire your coach, or now you have a chance to play in for the national championship if you make the playoff? What would you rather have?
Once in a while, I'll say that.
Right.
Messiah Nickens is in.
Hey, Messiah's in. Let me know when. What was the guy's name? Who were the two guys we like? Purgatory.
Yeah,
Purgatory.
Davey. Oh yeah. Roseby Labintus, I think, is the name. David Cunningham's up awfully early in Columbia, South Carolina, tweeting about these things. Tweeting about these guys.
Well, you got Florida State and South Carolina are so similar, right? They have two coaches that they don't want, that they can't fire because of the money involved. They don't want to fire them because they don't want to pay them.
Yeah.
Boy, tough. And you saw Steve Spurrier yesterday pointing that out about Florida State. That was fun watching him yesterday on the podcast, just ripping Florida State. They don't want that guy. They can't. They just can't get rid of him. Nobody did. And Mike Norvell knows it's true. Mike Norvell knows it's true. So,
yeah. That's a mess, and I think Shane's got a chance to turn things around.
We'll see.
South Carolina.
He's guaranteed a playoff berth next year. How about that? He said we'll be in the playoff. Mark it down. Remember, I'm telling you this. We're going to be in the playoffs next year. So, wow.
He's got to have that optimism, because if he doesn't, then what's his sell? What's his sell?
Well, I don't know. He knows it's his job. He knows he's got one more shot. He knows. That's what that statement means.
And I think he knows that if this doesn't work out, he doesn't have Virginia Tech to fall back on.
No. Or probably any head coaching gig, to be honest with you.
I can tell you Virginia Tech is very happy with James Franklin. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun to follow all this. And you're right. I hate that we're going into the postseason, though, with so much turmoil and controversy, and so much of it's so shady. And I was so excited when they expanded the playoff, and now to know what's going on behind it, it's just ridiculous, man. It's just taken so much out of it for a lot of fans, I know.
I'll say this: if Notre Dame and Alabama get left out, they're going to expand it.
Yeah, it'll go to 16. That'll be next.
I don't know. Can you go to 16, or do you go to what the FCS has and go straight to 28?
Go to 28. Just make the whole thing. Make it just a whole big. They can make a lot more money, more rounds, more money.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing: you'd have to get rid of conference championship games.
Yes, which is fine with me. They don't mean much anyway. So.
Well, I mean, they're already talking about how. What was it? They're talking about how data points and everything, and how they're not going to have this team hurt because of a data point that another team can't get. Well, if you don't have a conference championship game, you don't have that data point to dangle out there. So again, it'll be interesting to see. I think this is why they extended the deadline for what the CFP is going to look like beginning next year. So I think this is why they wanted to see if Alabama and Notre Dame aren't in. They're probably going to do it to where Alabama and Notre Dame will get in one way or the other.
Yeah. They're thinking about ratings, brands, recognition. They're thinking about all these things. And I get it. But this is why the NFL postseason's better, because whoever your record gets you in. Nobody's looking at quality wins. Nobody's looking at whatever your record says you are is why you're in the playoffs. And that's what college football should be. But there's just too many conflicting interests involved. It's utterly ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah, and they need to find a way to get these leagues smaller so that way you can actually have head-to-heads that determine who's in, who's out versus fifth tiebreaker based on winning percentage of teams you played in league play because you didn't play similar opponents. That's what we need to get to.
Absolutely. God, I hope Chip Kelly's not the new OC. Paul's asking that question. Woo! I don't see those two egos surviving in the same building on a game plan meeting Monday, Tuesday afternoon.
Entertaining.
Oh my Lord!
But it ain't happen.
Chip Kelly and James Franklin. Ooh, wow! Don't think that's going to work. Who knows? But who knows?
Kelly helped win the national championship at Ohio State last year. Though there's enough West Coast jobs open that he could stay out that way, especially if Ron Rivera gives him a call.
Yeah, West Coast seems like that's his destination. I agree. Yeah. Yep, Tebow. Yep, Mickens. Yeah, you had that already. DS. He's in, and all those guys who committed flipped are going to sign. It's just a matter of when they come across today.
Yeah. So. If they've committed to James Franklin, they're signing.
Yeah, they're signing. Yeah.
Isaiah Pena is the one who has said he's not going to sign.
Yeah, until later, maybe.
He wants to get to know the staff. He put on a post yesterday that he's still committed to Virginia Tech. So it'll be interesting to see if he keeps it or if he looks elsewhere. But if Virginia Tech's already got a 4-star tight end. So if Pena falls through, I mean, it's not like Virginia Tech's hurting at tight ends. I mean, you're bringing back everyone: Gosnell, St. Germain, Hairston, Wimbish, and then you're adding Peterson. So I think you're in a good place for Virginia Tech from a tight end perspective.
And we're going to see so much craziness all across the country today. Just know that it's about money, dollars, late offers, folks. Everybody's going to be pimping the SEC. Oh my goodness. They're all going to be saying, look at the draw of the SEC. Yeah, because they have the most money to spend. Of course, they're going to pull recruits from other places and so forth. The programs that have the biggest budgets are going to recruit very well today. That's the way it works. The NIL budget. Come on.
Ooh. A 3-star wide receiver flipped his commitment from UVA to Maryland.
Who was that?
That would be Josiah Teasley.
Never heard of him, but okay.
Well, that's someone that UVA is losing. And,
somebody they're losing. Yeah. I wonder how much that goes on too. You know, we talk about how guys who are going to enter the portal after today, after this week, are going to be told in a lot of cases that you need to go ahead and enter the portal. I wonder how many times coaches look at their class and start saying, okay, we have this plan. I wonder how much that happens with high school recruits too. Probably more now than ever before. But we'll see. Because we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, I know you got to get ready to go in the room, man. It's been fun watching you look for guys coming across the thing. It's good stuff. And people are throwing questions at you. This is great.
On the web, I just posted an update on the website with the first 2 guys who come in. So
this is great.
I'll be busy. I've already got stuff pre-written for most all these guys, so it's just waiting on
Well, thanks for answering questions too from the peeps. That's fun, man. That's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun.
I mean, right now I'm the lone guy in this room, and I won't be the lone guy in this room for much longer. So
where's Bitter? Is he like a late arrival guy? Is that what he is? He's just going to show up
he's usually been here early, but I think Tech Sideline with its slew of interns has guys like doing all that, so he might be able to sleep in, get some
The
time
slew of
with
interns.
family, take his daughter to the bus stop, get her off to school, and then
Exactly.
head
And then come
over.
in. Yeah.
Whereas I got in early.
Yeah, you're ready to rock and roll, man. I hope you have first access because you're there. Let the early guy take all the flowers. Yeah, I'm with you.
Don't worry. I'll be up there here in a few minutes, getting ready to go in there and because we got to go up to the Merriman Center lobby and meet up with some folks here soon. So
all right. Well, great stuff, laptop. Brother.
Absolutely.
And hey, we'll review it all next week. We'll see what the class looks like, and we'll be talking coaches, I'm sure too. So we have a lot to cover next week.
Oh, no shortage of things to talk about. That's
absolutely.
For sure.
All right, brother. Have a good rest of the day, man. And follow Damien on Twitter, on X. I'm sorry, I keep going Twitter. He'll update everybody with what's going on throughout the day as well. And check out his article online with the RT, or get the physical newspaper, for God's sakes. Hold something and read it. That's always more rewarding.
Yep. More subscribers, the better.
All right, brother. Enjoy the day, man. Take care.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good stuff. Good stuff from Damien. Good stuff. Donny Lind, the head basketball coach at Mount St. Mary's, is going to join us. We haven't caught up with Coach Lind for a while. So we will talk to him. If I can remember his email address. Let's see here. Mount. Anyway, he'll join us here coming up. I don't know why his email is not coming up, but it's not. Okay, I'm going to have to ask him what his email is. I know. I'm going to do that right now. We haven't caught up with Coach Lind for too long. Will you forward your email address? It's not in the system anymore, and I don't remember. All right, there we go. We'll let you have a live look here at what's going on. All right, so we'll get Coach Lind on here in just a second. Good stuff right there from Damien. By the way, thanks to the Ready Set Fund, Bob Chris, ReadySetFund.com. Raise money for your event, your team, whatever it might be. They helped Floyd County softball raise $4,000 in like 5 days, man, by just sending out texts. They're the best. Professional Door Incorporated, Travis Williams here on this signing day. Sponsor of our text line, residential, commercial garage doors. Better than anybody in the business, 38 years doing it. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this program. And my exclusive banking partner for the last 35 years. Ryan Pry, the attorney, the BDST fan question of the week. Who's going to win the ACC title? Duke or Virginia? 701 West Main Street in Radford. He specializes in trust and estate planning. Little River Heating and Air. Charles Lee. Boy, you need him this time of year, man. 540-553-2971. Best service, best price. And they're just great. They're just great. I still can't believe how quickly they changed my horrible situation into a great one in 3 days. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, our presenting sponsor. Thanks so much to Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller, and all those folks. We're going to have those folks on. They are great. Rick, you need an assistant. I do. If I ever make this thing financially viable, I'd love to have one. Family Fencing. 540-200-8294, our studio sponsor. Thanks to Jason Green. They're going to work through the winter. Give him a call, get a quote. It's free, man. Come talk to him. Once you talk to Jason, you're going to want to hire him because he's just a great dude. And he's involved in the community. He's a high school football official. He does volleyball officiating. So you're getting a guy who's committed to the community. That whole company's committed to the community. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic. Speaking of being committed to the community, right off of Peppers Ferry Road. Had many people say they're going to go over and talk to Mark, go get popped back into a positive existence. Shall you? Yeah, I was working the mouse. Yeah, we're having some trouble there with the mouse. Let's see. There he is. There. Now I got his email. Thanks, Coach. Donny Lind will join us momentarily. Always a great conversation. Go get your next vehicle at Harvey's GM in Radford. Go see Brad Harvey. I bought my last 3 vehicles from them. I'm going to be utilize their service department. Michelle is the best. That whole company is just so well run. Speaking of community, nobody does it better than Harvey's. Go see Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel, 4377 Lee Highway in Pulaski. Since 1997, Lawson's Mobile Home Supply has been the place to go for manufactured home parts. Give James Lawson a call. He's over at 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, 540-381-8011. And the NRV Super Bowl. 25 years they've been in business. 540-382-5525. Reserve your lane now. And I'm trying to see if that's where we end up doing our bash. We might be doing that. Hey, David, good morning. You as well. Hope you have a blessed day. Thank you. Thanks for the well wishes. We need more well wishes in this world. Appreciate that. And thanks to Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. Thanks to all those folks. We're going to get Steve Bifato on here soon and talk about all the great things they're doing. I'm honored to be part of the Montgomery County Chamber here on the program. I think that's everything. Did we get everything in? I believe we did. Everything in but our final guest of the day. There he is. He's the head basketball coach at the Mount St. Mary's, Donny Lind. Coach, how are you, brother? Good to see you.
Doing great, Rick. How you doing?
Hey, we're hanging in there, man. Hey, we're in December now, right? And this is final non-con tune-ups for all basketball teams across the country, right? Getting through November into December. It's always a big time.
It's basketball season, right? That's what we call it now? Or is it still football?
Yeah, it is. It's basketball season.
Certainly, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say it. No, we're doing great. We're doing great. We the MAC is interesting. We play our first 2 conference games. We play conference games today and Friday. So
that's right.
None of us are ready. But I guess it's fair since none of us are ready. So yeah, we have Sacred Heart tonight at home in our first conference game, and it's funny, like that means more, and you can feel it in practice the last couple of days as we're preparing. But it's a lot of fun.
And you brought that. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. And you were like, why? And they did this. Is it because of the amount of teams in the schedule on the in the conference, or why?
We have 13 teams in our league, and for the longest time there were 11 teams in the league, and it made a ton of sense to play 20 league games with 11 teams. And then we added 2 more teams last year, and there hasn't been. Sometimes it takes a little longer to adjust. And so we're still adjusting, I think, to the right number of league games, but we're still at 20 right now, which means we play early in conference championship season, right? We play that end of that first weekend. So we have to get the season done a week earlier. So in order to do both of those things, you got to play 2 games in December, which is fine. It's fine. It is what it is. And our guys will be ready to go. They're excited, and we'll see what we got.
Well, and I know how much you've tested your squad, man. You've had some big time road games, haven't you? My goodness, you've been all over the place.
Yeah, no question, we have, and that's fun. It's a great experience for our guys. Obviously, there's a lot of benefit to challenging ourselves in the non-conference. I would have liked to have been able to do it, baby, with a full roster, with not having to deal with the injury bug that we've had to deal with. But our guys, really, really performed well. We were in all but one of the high major games that we played. We had a chance to beat Maryland up 5 with 30 seconds left. As a coach, that one hurts because as a coach we got to win that game. But really tested our guys and have come through. The biggest thing is we've come through as a really connected group. Guys that really like each other, that enjoy playing basketball together, that enjoy spending time with each other when they're not playing basketball, which is huge because I think that allows them to sacrifice more for each other during the game. And so as we turn to the end of December here and hopefully start to get a little healthier and start to get ready for the bulk of the conference games, I'm excited for kind of where we're at, but also, the outlook for our team is really bright despite our, 2-6 record.
Well, I don't know. That's one thing, Coach, you mentioned, like making sure guys respond to those games the right way in the aftermath. Sounds like they've come through that. I know you're a big part of that with how you keep guys motivated and so forth. So that's good to hear that they understood the lessons they were learning, but understood as well how much better it potentially is going to make them as you go along here.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's what it comes down to. It's, we're fortunate, we're not, well, I mean, in some ways, we're fortunate, I should say, that, we're not vying for an at-large bid, right? We'd have to go 29-2 in the non-conference and then lose in the championship game to even be considered for a non-conference, for an at-large bid. And so with that not really being one of our goals, we have a little bit more time to build the team that we're trying to build. And, we're certainly trying to win every time we go out. And, I think we've shown that every night. But there's also this idea that, hey, we got to be playing our best in January and February, really in late February. And in order to do that, we've got time to build our team to the way we need to be. And, it's fun to see them compete as they're learning and becoming that team. They're super competitive. They fight tooth and nail. And, they are attacking the areas that we got to get better in. We turn the ball over too much. We need to get better at that. And we were attacking that. It's funny. We started off the season, we were just turning it over all the time. Now we have these these pockets of the game. We'll have these 5-6 possession stretches where we'll turn it over 2 or 3 times in a row, or 2 or 3 times in 5 possessions. And that'll happen once a half. And that's better, but it's still not good enough, right? You still can't have these stretches because it allows teams to go on big runs. And so, we still have to improve and continue to get better. And that's the fun part about being in a one bid league, being in a mid-major league is, we're going to play these 20 conference games starting tonight. And, we're going to be able to be a lot better team in February than we are today. And that's going to be fun to see these guys as they become that. It'll be a result of their hard work and our training staff's hard work to get some of these guys back from injury, but it'll be fun to see them continue to grow together.
Donny Lind joining us on the program, the head basketball coach at Mount St. Mary's. Conference play tonight beginning. Wow, early in the MAAC. The MAC. Have you noticed the difference already, conference champions? I know what those power schools you were playing were saying, hey, guys, this team played in the NCAA tournament last year. Have you noticed that already? I know it's only been 8 games, but can you tell already the difference that maybe you're getting?
Yeah, there's a definite level of respect for our program, which is great. That's what we want. The Mount's a storied program. The Mount has been successful for a long time. But since coming to the MAC, this is the first time that we've been able to win a championship. And it's certainly, we feel that as we go into games. People know who we are. People aren't saying, oh, who's this team? Where are they from? And so, we gotta strap up and be ready to play every night. And that's good. That's how you want it to be. You don't want to win games because you sneak up on people because they don't think you're any good, right? We welcome, the ability to play who we play, and and if we feel like if we can bring our best, we can compete with anybody. I think we showed that, this year. Obviously losing tough games to West Virginia and Cincinnati and Maryland, are games that last year we were getting blown out in, and this year now we're competing until the end of the game. And, it's still not good enough. You're still trying to win. But, you can see the growth from year 1 to year 2. Our guys feel like they belong in all those games. They feel like, hey, if we give everything we got, if we play, to the capabilities that we're able to, we're going to be able to give these guys everything they want and give ourselves a chance to win at the end. And that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping every night that, we play good enough and we play well enough and we play together enough that, we give ourselves a chance to win at the end. And as we go into league play and finish up our non-conference after this little 2-game swing here, we can continue to figure out what it takes to be competitive every night.
It's like you mentioned, the mindset, and you can feel that it's different being conference. I mean, it's a lot easier, isn't it, when you're coming out, segueing right out of non-conference traditional play right into conference play, and you go, okay, guys, it's time to amp it up. Your guys having to amp it up early all across that league. Is this the only league that's like that, or are there a few leagues, mid-major leagues, that are doing that?
I'm not 100% sure. Like, I know the Big Ten plays a couple early league games, but I don't know if they go right into they continue it after the holidays. I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely unique, and it's a cool showcase for our league. We're the only team us and Sacred Heart are the only teams playing tonight.
Oh, good.
With 13 conference teams. 2 teams have got to play on a different day than everybody else, so everybody plays 2 games. And so, being the reigning champs, we get the first game of the season, which is cool. So we'll play tonight, and then quick turnaround for Friday, and then we get a nice little break with finals and getting our guys kind of to, like you said, finish that preparation, finish the non-conference preparation stuff, continue to build, and then obviously we turn the page after the holidays.
Well, it's so good to hear Coach mention finals. Hey, that academic part's still pretty important, isn't it? Yeah, we don't talk about that much with the football side of things anymore.
I got a phone call after this that I have to make to a player's high school coach to remind his student athlete that we got finals coming up. So that's how it works.
Great point. Very, very good point. You mentioned the health issues. How are they coming out now? Is it starting to give you a little positivity now? Some guys who've been banged up, you feeling better?
Yeah. We're getting a couple more bodies back in practice, and guys starting to wean their way back in, which is nice. You can't make any. I can't make an excuse because we have injuries. It stinks, but it is what it is. The ball bounce goes up, and we got to put everything we got out there. And but when we make this difficult schedule in the throughout the spring and into the summer. There's an anticipation that we're going to have the majority of our team available, and that's what stinks is, you don't give yourselves as much margin for error. One of the things I believe in is that every game, like there's a formula for us to win every game that we play. I really believe that.
Yeah.
But depending on the opponent, there's less margin for error in that formula, and when we aren't at our full strength, that also adds to the or subtracts, I guess, from the margin for error in that formula. And so we just have to play so much better. And with so many new guys and how early it is in the season, it's hard to play that well for 40 minutes in those games against teams that are more talented than you are. And so, we've unfortunately lost some close games that, you wish you could have won and you wish you could have had, everybody, but you don't. And that's the way it is. And you got to find a way to win regardless. And we weren't able to do that. And I think we've learned a lot. I think we've learned what goes into winning. We're learning that. And that's the most important thing with a young team, with a team of new guys is like, hey, we got a ton of talent, but we've got to learn that, hey, turning the ball over too much, you're not going to be able to win. Hey, shooting poor from the free throw line, especially in the second half, it's going to be hard for you to win. Not getting big defensive rebounds and letting teams take 2 and 3 shots, it's going to be hard for you to win. And so like those things, sometimes you can learn those lessons in practice, but a lot of times you got to learn those lessons in the game. And those lessons really hurt because you usually lose when you learn those lessons.
You just mentioned the turnovers. I hear that coaches a lot that we've talked to already in Radford season. There's a lot of that going on. What's the best way to try to shore that up? What's the best way to attack that, to counter guys giving the ball up too much?
I mean, there's a billion different ways. And if you can find somebody, you can tell me the one thing we can do to stop turning the ball over, I'll hire them tomorrow. But it's, so we've kind of broken it into a couple things. So first of all, we were spending 5 minutes every day in a segment that I've politely titled in practice, "Stop Turning the blank ball over," where we spend 5 minutes working on simple ball handling, passing, simple fundamental things to remind the guys every day that, hey, some of this you control, right? Some of this we control with, hey, let's not dribble the ball off our foot. Hey, let's complete this pass, step and pass, and do the fundamental things. And so we're spending 4 or 5 minutes every day on the basic fundamentals, dribbling, passing, with some defense, with coaches and managers and people trying to get steals to try to help shore some of that stuff up. And then we've adapted some of our drills to really penalize you for turning the ball over. So, for example, it's if you turn it a live ball turnover, the other team gets 3 points. Plus, now they get to go play offense on the other end. So theoretically, you're looking at a 6-point possession here if you on a live ball turnover for the other team. And so, and then when you lose, you run, and then nobody wants to run at the end of the drill. So you got competitive guys. So you make it way harder for a team to win when they turn the ball over. So some things like that, there's some creative things that we try to do just to, make them notice. Like we've had days where every time we turn it over, we pop a balloon in the gym. So it sounds like a gunshot goes off. And so everybody understands, oh, this is not a good thing. And then when we run Then when we run out of balloons, we can just get on the line and we can just run for the rest of practice because we don't got any balloons left. Thankfully, we haven't gotten there yet this year, but there's some ways we can just emphasize to the guys that, hey, this is unacceptable. You're going to turn the ball over, right? You're not going to play the game and have 0 turnovers.
Sure.
But if we can be at or around our goal of 10 or 11 turnovers a game, and if we can have less than that, we're going to give ourselves a much better chance to be successful, than, I think we're averaging 15 right now. And you can imagine 5 more possessions, we're scoring over a point per possession. That's 5-6 more points. You win a couple more games with 5 or 6 more points.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
That's what a lot of games come down to, right? A lot of games, especially as you get into conference play, games come down to 6 to 8 points. Most conference games. How are we going to make ourselves 6 to 8 points better? It's 1 possession a half. Right? Maybe 3 possessions over the course of the game. Can we be a little bit better during those 2 or 3 possessions where we get a shot as opposed to not getting a shot, or where we get a rebound as opposed to giving them a second shot? And those are the details that matter when you get into, the second half of your season, which is, for us mid-majors, the most important time of the year.
Wayne's asking we're talking about the turnover problem. What's been a strength of this year's team so far, or any kind of maybe surprises that you've seen from the squad?
Yeah, with how we've had to play a little bit slower in the half court, just because we haven't had the depth to really get out and run. And I've really been impressed with our ability to get the ball inside. We've got 3 forwards that have been consistent scorers. Luke McKeldin is a kid from Northern Virginia who transferred from Santa Clara, who's had some monster games for us. Justin Amati, he had 21 and 10 against Bryce Harris, who, if mid-major basketball, is one of the best mid-major players in the country. He's averaging 24 a game, and shut him down, and averaged and had 21 and 10. And then Trey DeVoe was rolling for us, was our leading scorer, got banged up against Western Michigan, and he's out working his way back. But those guys have been great. Our ability to have an interior presence, have a 3-headed monster of sorts that we can play at the 4 and the 5, that are all unique, that all play very different, but all are really effective, have been awesome. And then, in the backcourt, Xavier Lipscomb has been kind of like the quiet leader, right? He was at Radford for 2 years.
The X-Man.
We had him, and he, he's been like the leader, the glue guy, the locker, whatever you want to call him. But he's been a starting point guard here for the last 2 years, and his ability, he's really worked, decided to come back for his last year. He had a redshirt year when he hurt his foot, and decided to come back and really work to become a better offensive player, not just a facilitator. And his ability to shoot the ball, his ability to finish around the basket, has given us another dimension where, we have some really good pieces that could score the ball. It's going to be exciting as we get into, these games against, to finish up our non-conference and then our conference games, like what these guys are going to be able to do, because we've got a potent offensive team, and we're growing defensively with all these new guys. We're getting better. It's hard to judge some of these games. It really is. It's hard to judge how good we are defensively when you're playing teams that are drastically more talented than you. But when you look at the games against the teams that are more our level, that are similar to MAC games, I think we're going to be able to really sit down and guard people and limit them to one shot. Got to force a couple more turnovers. We're getting crushed in turnover margin right now. We're turning over too much, and we're not getting enough. So we got to look at that. I appreciate Wayne, because it's easy for us as coaches to look at all the things we got to fix. I got to remember, we're doing some things really well right now, and got to emphasize those today as we go into the game. We got to press our advantages.
But you still got to stop turning over the blankety-blank ball.
No question.
What's been great, too, before we let Coach go, appreciate him joining us on Conference Game Day, by the way, is I'm getting bacon updates whenever they go across the country. I mean, overall grade so far seems to be pretty strong, right? Pretty
strong. Yeah, we've had some good ones. We'll see as we go up to Poughkeepsie, New York this weekend. I don't think of Poughkeepsie, New York as bacon country.
No, not at all. No.
But we'll see what they can do when we get up there on Friday morning. But it's been fun. We've got a great group. We've got a good. I love our staff and our players, the group that we're building. They're a lot of fun to be around, and that makes these things like going on the road and seeing, how the bacon is and messing with the guys with stuff like that. It's so much fun to be with this group. They're they're a good group. I think they're going to really thrive here as we get into this kind of. We've got that first part of the season over. It's kind of 3 parts. It's like the beginning of non-conference where we play all these guarantee games and play the high majors, and then we kind of can settle in here with some regular non-conference games that include these 2 league games, and then after Christmas. So it's exciting to kind of see we're getting better. We're coming together, and that they're having a lot of fun around each other. So it's been good.
No, it's great, man. It's great. And I think Cincinnati so far is the leader in the clubhouse. Is that safe to say? That was strong.
Yes. Very strong. Very strong. Yeah. You'll be tough to beat, honestly, as we go throughout the year.
Yes. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Silas is ready, Wayne. So he's ready to go, man. He's ready for Christmas break. It's time to be on the road now, right? He's out for
no doubt. Next Saturday, we play at Loyola. He'll travel with the team. They're only an hour down the road, so he'll get to ride the bus with the guys. He'll be fired up, and then then it's Christmas break, and he's all in. It'll be a good time.
Well, Coach, man, listen, it's great always to visit with you, and best of luck, man, getting conference play underway on a positive note tonight. We'll be pulling like heck for you.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Stay safe. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, you too. There you go. Great stuff from Coach Lind here on the program. As they got a game tonight conference play, as he said, in that league. They have to do it with all the teams. So it's tough. We did that in the Big South. We've done that in the past. It's been a while, but we had couple early conference games like that, and it just changes the whole vibe. It really, he is a great guy, Wayne. You run through a wall for that guy if you're on that team. He's always got such a great perspective. And I love that he's right. When you're a mid-major like that, even a league champion who played in the NCAA tournament, you got to separate the games against the power schools where you're getting a big check, how your team performs, and then what you're doing against like talent level. It's different. So he's got all that down. But you got to protect the blankety blank ball. It's great. That's great. All right, let's see here. I've been trying to follow here to see if there's any more. The Oates kids official, JMU to Tech. That's the one that Damien mentioned. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else who's come across. He expected maybe 4 or 5 more flips today, something like that. Maybe names that we didn't hear. So we'll see. But I think it'll end up being a lot of Tech fans will be happy. And it gives you something to follow through, right? In the middle of the day, middle of the week on a Wednesday, you can just follow all that stuff. Oh, yeah, the energy drinks. Yeah, we should do that again. Yeah, I don't know whether he's on them as much now. I think he said he's into coffee more now. But, yeah, the energy drinks, and Logan, the producer of the radio show, who survived, he'd never gotten up that early to work. And he had to have energy drinks. And Coach Lind fit the bill. So they'd come on and they would share energy drinks. That was great. Yeah, because Coach Lind would come in studio. That's when Coach Jones was still here, and he was still on staff. And, yeah, he could just come right in the studio. Here you go. Let's give him a shot. Good stuff. Good people. And with good people comes success. And that's why Coach Lind's having a lot of success. Plus, he's just a really good basketball coach. Big one tonight for the Highlanders. Big one. I mean, for a new coaching regime and a brand new team and results so far that you have to be disappointed in tonight, against a similar team. I think the spread is 2. If I'm not mistaken, let me see here. 2.5. Highlanders favored by 2.5. Southern Miss comes in out of the Sun Belt. The Golden Eagles' first ever meeting will be on the air at 6:30 on the Radford Radio Network, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Tune us in, myself and Colt Wilder. Crystal Hubbard will be our sideline gal. But, yeah, expecting a big crowd tonight for the first time ever. Radford basketball will have alcohol. Beer and wine sales tonight debut. It's been in the works for several years. had to get through a lot of different check marks from different places, not only at the university, but across the state. But there will be alcohol for the first time at a Radford game tonight. So there you go. And Cole Wilder, who's already sent me a text, got all excited. Oh, good. So we'll be able to drink at the game. No, Cole, not us. Not us. Not for us. But, that's kind of big. I know it's been going on other places. Wayne, how long has Tech had that at their basketball game? Like, how long is – I don't know the answer. That's why I'm asking. Like, how long has alcohol been at basketball and football? I'm guessing they came in at the same time. 4 years? Okay. So for about 4 years. Okay, that's okay. It's not as long as I kind of thought, but that makes sense. Because everybody kind of at first fought it, right? And then it looked like, okay, here's going to be a different type of revenue stream. Let's just say it's for what it is. It's just people go to those events. I mean, it's like a big party. I mean, it is. Okay. All right. 4 years. That works. But it's a big one tonight. We expect a big crowd. Students are back from Thanksgiving. I know we had a big reaction from that. I think it's going to look good if you watch us on ESPN Plus with a full house. And Southern Miss is 4-3, brand new team. It's so hard to get a read when you haven't seen them. These teams across the country, I mean, Tech's got so many new players. South Carolina, the team they played last night, how's it coming together? It's interesting looking at some of their numbers. They've had a different guy step up, like in most all their games. So they've kind of got some depth that you don't really know which guy might be the guy coming in. They do have the Sun Belt Player of the Week coming in. So I don't know. We'll see. But, these are the type of games at home that traditionally, when you have like opponents and it's a close matchup, Radford's been able to take care of business, no matter if it's been in-state schools, regional schools like this. They let one get away against Wilmington, a good Wilmington team. I think this team's very similar, not as much physical size down low, but as athletic as Wilmington. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They haven't won a road game. It's tough to go on the road, man. It's tough. That's why last night's Tech win is good. I mean, I know you're playing without one of your lead guys and you pull that thing out. That's big, man. That's a big win. Rick with the Real Men of Genius Budweiser Player of the Game. Yeah, we just change up the whole post game. We're all sitting there just popping tops. Hey, congratulations. Like Madden used to do with the turkey leg and the turducken. That's what we're going to do. That's funny. Very, very funny. David Teal tomorrow on the program. I think Andy's good to join us. Yeah, I don't play that enough, do I? You're right. Budweiser Player of the Game.
Oh my. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
Hey, I got to get the old no guy more involved in the show. My bad. I apologize to everybody. I just kind of let that go, haven't I? Just kind of let that go. But I believe tomorrow we're going to have you covered. We'll have post-signing day reactions. Andy Bitter, Dwight, and David Teal. And we'll get his take on all this stuff. And I want to talk to David, too, about the ACC championship game. There is a football game. There is a football game on Saturday. Where is the clip from out of nowhere? This clip came from an old YouTube video from a broadcaster who was describing it was a fight during a baseball game after someone had hit a home run and he didn't make it around the bases. If I'm not mistaken, I think the guy got to second and all of a sudden he gets attacked by the middle infield.
Oh my. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere. Oh my. Oh, no.
Yeah. And we used to play it. It fits in any capacity of life that you want to play it. It fits. Oh, man. My shoelace just broke as I was walking to my car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and his voice makes it all beautiful.
That was out of nowhere.
All right, so enjoy your signing day commitments. Wasn't trying to bring everybody down here. I was just trying to look at it, like I said, cautiously optimistic, the real world of college athletics. You just know how it operates. You know what's going on. There's going to be some massive flips across the country, none bigger than the one we saw yesterday with the Georgia #1 recruit in the country going from Georgia to Vanderbilt. Mind-blowing. And that's kind of what got me thinking about everybody so excited. Just wait and see how things develop in the future, right? That's why you just wait. And see, that's why these coaching hires that look great don't end up being great. And some of the ones that don't look great end up being the best hires of the cycle. So we shall see. But thanks, everybody. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Remember, if you get one person if you're a subscriber to subscribe, we'll hit that 1,000 mark pretty quickly. Hit me up if you want a T-shirt, $20 here locally. If I have to ship them, $30. Tune us in tonight. Big one tonight at the Dedman Center. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on Thursday, and we'll have all your post-signing day coverage. Be good.